Well, here we are playing Time Pirates right after that first scoring round. Swung around the board again. Actually twice, once from yellow and once completely around. And we see we've already collected up a bunch of Time Police movement chits. They haven't boned anyone yet. They were sitting here briefly during one exchange. People are trying to collect up the best sets they can at this point to drop some extra score here. So we see, the red player has a collection of 6. He's ready to turn in, assuming nothing happens wrong, and then get started on whatever's next. He couldn't do both at once. He wanted the extra point out of that. All right, well, on to another one. And around the board again, and seeing some kind of interesting behavior. I think red did this when they did their turn in, green did it on theirs, which is, I don't want to fill the spot I'm in. I got what I need there, but I might as well fill another spot, see what's going to happen in it that I want to go to. And if it's not a good choice, I can go somewhere where it's empty. He sees a reasonable choice here. He just turned in for a 6-point thing, 5 chits. Nobody's pulling any of the white counters yet. People might want to start considering them. We're getting close to the end of the Time Police again, and you want to get points down so that you score them twice instead of just once at this point. Going around one more time, most players were feathering their nest essentially, trying to grab some points. Let's see who grabbed. He grabbed an easy one, as did he. He managed to turn in a bunch of whites and use a trade counter to get a high value counter at the end of his actions. So most people weren't drawing. Green looked, had no counters, said, I'm going to draw, even though I'm in an area that doesn't need a draw. Drawing for here to get, and he got 2 Time Police, enough to drive us into the next scoring round. Now, he's not in the lead here, so forcing the scoring round may seem silly, but he didn't have any way to gain anymore, so other people would have been gaining at a faster rate, he thinks, especially people like yellow who are sitting on a lot of tokens. So he wanted to get things over with and into the next round as quickly as possible. Again, we're just going to add the point values and to the current score. And remember, some of these were gained back in the first round. I'll come back after the points and probably after some play. Actually, I want to hit the points alone because there's some interesting factors that I haven't mentioned yet going on. So currently in the lead, blue has jumped up to 24 points. But you'll notice they have 2 orange counters. Now that means they're very likely to win the 2 bonus points for orange, but it's going to make it harder for them to get the 5 color bonus, which is fairly easy for people to get. And it's going to make it harder for them to compete maybe in other colors, to have so many of the points located there. Yellow has a big blue counter, which probably is sufficient to think about owning the blue color at this point. Of course, there is a counter that's right behind it, and in this case, the guy who has it is actually ahead of him. So you may want to reinvest in another blue counter, or in some white ones that he can use for it. Nobody's picked any of them up. We've got a spread of 3 different colors here, which is a good indication he wants to move towards the 5 color bonus. In addition, he has a big 7-pointer in purple. Here, focuses on blue, and it's not really absolutely decided. A 3-color spread again. Oh, he focused on red, not orange. It's hard for me to tell them apart until I see them together. Nice spread here. And here a focus on green, but again, the 7-point counter is out there, and that could compete against the 8 points he has. All right, now I finish up green's turn, and then go around the table again. Spun around the board again, and still people are focusing, and this may not be the wisest thing, on the color sets rather than getting the white victory markers. Now this is the last year of the game, And we're already seeing some time police movement. A couple of players presumably boned by it. We're not sure. I think red got hosed earlier. Large collection of pieces here. He could go for a big white piece, or he could go for he's sitting on enough stuff to get, well, the biggest purple. Could probably do a big blue too, very easily. And may want to do those instead of the lesser points for the whites, with the hope of maybe being able to rearrange and get a victory off of the wild card attribute of those. I still think the payoff from a single color piece is much higher than aiming for the spread, but maybe I'm mistaken there because of the wild card aspect. Alright, keep going. Well, we've made it around again, and one of the things, first of all, the purple line is completely gone, which, since there's only 5 chits for a line, at least one person's going to be shut out from getting any purples. In this case, it looks like everybody's gotten one except for the green player. Now that means he can't get the one of every color set, because you can't use the wild cards as a color you don't have. You can only match a color you have. Therefore, well, his counters were actually aiming towards purple, but he was able to turn in and get himself the first of the white counters, the wild cards, for boosting his own strength maybe in one color. Other players, do they really have a chance? For example, this guy has 3 of the colors. He's working on a 4th. He could get green perhaps, but if he does that, he's out of counters and probably can't get blue. So he may not want to be trying to go for that 5 color set. This guy's got 4 colors. Oh no, sorry, 3 colors as well. Movement in both directions, but probably can't make it. This guy's got 3 colors, not enough chits. 3 colors, not enough chits. Over here, he's had only 2 colors. Well set up for a 3rd, but it looks like nobody's going to get that 5 color bonus very easily here. Alright, let's keep going. Next time around, we saw some time police activity. A couple of people got hosed over here, and I think red lost counter. I don't know who else. But again, it's sort of in this end game period where they're have been trying to collect up something to get a set that will best help them score extra points. At this point, though, it's becoming cashing your points, because it's getting close enough that you want to make sure you're not stuck holding, like this guy is, a whole bunch of artifacts, because they're not going to be worth anything at the end of the game. Of course, that particular player happens to be sitting on the time pirate, and he loses the color he has the most of in all his white counters. So maybe cashing in's not that big an option for him at this point. Around the board again, and the green player's taking something of a risk here. He could have played 3 colored tokens to get a 2-point white thing. He feels still like he's kind of behind, even though he's really not doing that badly. Once you get into that feeling that you've been behind all game, sometimes you keep thinking that way. And so he's taking a slight risk here, and he's also behind in points. He's one of the lowest in total points, so he's got to score more than anyone else, and he's not in that position. So it's kind of the right thought in this case. He collected up a set of 4 greens, which is enough to buy this on his next turn, but that next turn may not happen because of all the time police there. Other people largely have been buying whatever they can, which in cases sometimes is these really cheap little white counters, just to get something on the board there. Purple's not doing badly at all. They're kind of in the lead. Not all the way, but they're in 2nd place. So the thinking when you're in these leading positions is that of, I just want to make sure I don't screw up, you know. I have this advantage, whereas the thinking in the other players might be, I need to make some ground here. Now, Blue has to compare himself to purple. He's only got 15 points. Purple's got 10, 15 as well. So, since blue has a slight lead, he might be trying to end the game at this point by drawing more tokens. And again, around, the blue player did not draw any time police when he tried to crack it last time. So, he managed to buy himself a big white counter. Other people, some buying, but some are also holding because they can see the points now and they can see I'm behind blue. I don't want to just buy a safe choice. So this guy, for example, has 4 oranges. He's trying to work his way up and get one more, which might necessitate a draw, which could end the game. The green player, on the other hand, went for another risk, not taking the 4 point. He's going for the 6 point. He's got 2, 4, 5, 6 if there's a green counter out there, so he can pick that up. Again, might be making the trade between a guaranteed middle of the pack placement and a choice between a shot at first or a shot at losing. Alright, it should end soon. People are drawing a lot more than they have been in prior periods where the police were largely out. The reason being, they are trying to take risks at this point. Before, you didn't want to take risks because you could score those points multiple times. Well, blue was able to end it. They picked this area, which was blank, had the highest number of possible draws. They figured they can take blues if they need them, but they wanted the most likelihood of breaking things, and they got it. On the 3rd draw, they got a policeman. So now, we go through a normal scoring round, and then we go through this kind of pairing up round. And I'll come back after I've done both, actually. And of course, as in all things, I lied. I scored the first rounds right off so that I can discuss the strategy along with you. And we can see, because this is all actually open in the game, we can see what the different choices entail. Now, all of these artifacts I'm just going to clear out of the way because they're just confusing things right now. They don't count at all. They count on ties. Right. No, most contracts. Artifacts don't matter. Cool. Okay. So, our leading player is blue. Got 43 points. He's got a clear lead in the orange contract with 13 points. He's got a 2-point purple contract. He could bump that up to 6 points by putting this white with it, but there's no reason to do that because all the purples are out. That means the 6 and 7 are out. So he's going to put that with the orange. There's no reason to do anything else. We'll clear the people out who are in that position. Yellow is in 2nd place with 38 points. He's got this 11 for blue, and he looks at people with blue, and 8 is the most he can be bested with. He's got a 2 for red. That's not going to be able to be helped. He's got a 4 for purple. Now, if he places this with purple, he has a chance of taking that and getting 2 extra points for it. It can't help him with red. Can it help him with blue? Well, the only person in competition with blue is holding only 8 points and has no white counters. So he's safe playing for the purple. Let's look at this guy. He's sitting on a 7-point purple. Now, there are people out there who can beat that. This guy could tie it. This guy could beat it. That's dangerous. He's got a 4-point orange. And he looks around the table. And there's got to be a 7-point orange out here. Ah, there it is. And he can't increase his. So I can guarantee myself 2 points by playing with the orange piece. The green we're going to leave out. Well, yeah, somebody's got more than the maximum that I could have in green. So here's the thing. If red were in the lead, he might try to protect that by playing the purple. But because doesn't feel like he feels like he needs to take a little bit more risk and a little bit more option, he's going to play there. And again, I'm making these decisions in the open. Sometimes I would be rolling dice or something, but these have seemed pretty clear. Over here, well, this is white. He's sitting on 37 points, which is actually third place. Pretty good, but he's got no options. He's fixed in place. All his colors are set. So let's go to the purple player, who also has options. Well, not a lot. 6-point red isn't going to help. 5-point orange isn't going to help. So he's going to play it on the purple. No option there, which is going to keep him from getting any points for that. But okay. And now, 6-point orange isn't going to do any good, so he'll put it over with the green. And let's see who gets any bonus points. Orange, 2 people, red and white, each get the 2-point bonus. Oh, nobody got all 4 colors, which are all 5 colors, which I think we knew was going to happen. He missed by green. So red and orange each get 2. 37, oh, white. For the orange color. I guess this is red even though it looks like orange. Wow. See, this is what's confusing. Okay, red falls to the blue player. Yep. For 2 points. And I think that's going to guarantee him the game. Green goes to the green player. How fitting. And he just had no chance anyway. Purple. Well, we got a 7 purple, we got an 8 purple. Purple gets purple. And finally, we got one more color, blue. Yellow gets blue with 11. White only had 8. So yellow. Yellow pull. No, he doesn't add 11 points. Yellow gets the 2-point bonus. As you can see, though, those end-of-game bonuses, they can make a very close game different. But here, we were looking at, what, a difference of 5 points. And they aren't sufficient unless somebody... Because the person who can do well there is a person who's probably scored a lot of points already. Because you've already got the points from the colors, and you need high-valued counters to do well in this. All right, I'm going to come back with a review, and hopefully there won't be an airplane flying in my window at that point.